So I'm going to show you guys how to fish a flutter jig for lake trout. Now this is a super productive tool, even when the Lakers don't want to chase a swim bait. It's more of a reactive bait. So we have glow chartreuse on the top here. This is a 1/2 ounce model. There's also a 3/4 and a 1 ounce model. And if you guys want, we'll maybe come out with a 2 ounce one that'll sink like a, I don't know, like a submarine. But we have 2x strong hooks on the bottom of that 50-pound split rings. And we're going to drop that right to the bottom. But first, since we are using treble hooks, we're going to smash over the barbs on these trebles. Just because I'm not a big fan of trebles. And I love Lakers. So we're going to drop this down. We're dropping this down a 12-pound test and fluorocarbon leader and 15-pound Power Pro with the Laker rod. Drop that right to the bottom down there. So flutter jigs or flutter spoons, whatever you want to call them, are great for casting and they're great for jigging. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, they are erratic. And I hand these to clients when I'm guiding that don't listen. They don't want to do the dead stick and wait technique, or not that they don't listen, they have little patience, kind of like I do, where you really can't do much wrong. So you can let this hit bottom like this. So line is slack. And then you can just dig it straight off bottom like this, literally until a fish comes in. Now you can run a sidewash hook if your rules don't allow trebles. I feel like the hookup ratio goes way down in my opinion, especially if you're doing this jigging technique. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pound this thing on bottom as much as we can. And then we're gonna rip it up like this. And what that spoon is doing is it's going straight up and then fluttering down, straight up and fluttering down. And this is only 1/2 ounce version. If I was fishing for bigger Lakers or anything deeper than like 40 feet, I'd be using the 3/4 to 1 ounce version, which has a little bit bigger, wider gap hooks on it. And you really can't do much wrong because it's basically just a dying smelt or a dying bait that's kind of like fluttering the bottom. So we want to kind of be erratic. This is what I handed it to my 5-year-old last year, jigging for Lakers when I was doing stuff outside the shack. I'm like, here, just take this spoon. I let it hit bottom with him. Let it hit the bottom of the lake. And I said, just keep wiggling this until it gets heavy. And I come in, he's like, oh, it's heavy, Dad, it's heavy. That's how these baits work, just making noise. That sink to the bottom. And the heavier jig you use, the less tangling issues, the less ice buildup issues you have, just because it'll rip all that weight out. Normally I'm using something like a 1/4 ounce. That's what I've been using all morning. But we just had a weather change and the bite has slowed down a little bit. So I'm trying to be erratic, trying to get a reaction bite out of the Laker. And what I mean by a reaction bite is, don't go do this, but I mess around with my dog and you gotta like mess with them, and then they like turn on, they get that like snap, not an aggressive because he's just playing, but that's what we want out of that Laker, just like annoy, and then bang, I'm just gonna bite at it out of annoyance. That's what we want with the flutter jig. Now, if you really want to cover some water, it's hard to do ice fishing. But what I'm gonna do, open my bail and I'm gonna see if I can scope this spoon out just like that. See how it's shooting off 4 feet in the other direction? If I had deeper water, I could do that. So basically what we want to do is when we drop that spoon down vertical, it shoots straight down. But if we drop it off at an angle like that, drop it in the hole at an angle, it'll shoot out that way, cover a little bit more water. It's way more effective in open water where you can like cast it out and kind of hop it back. Super effective way to fish for Lakers. Got it. Hit it on the fall. That's what's nice about spoons. Yeah. Just a little whippersnapper, but he ate it. Just a little guy. Just gonna keep this spoon active. Another thing that spoons are really, really good for is if you're around a ton of bait and around a super ton of like Lakers, my initial thought is you have a big school of bait and Lakers are pounding that bait everywhere, and then the ones that they've hit and stunned are kind of fluttering to bottom. So if you're in that mix and they're not chasing a swim bait, they're not chasing a tube, you gotta have a flutter spoon or a flutter jig, or even just like a Colorado style spoon, something that can really shine some light down there to get that reaction out of them, to think that, you know, there's bait that's fallen down. I've seen that trigger fish a bunch of times. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, come on. Ooh, 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 ooh. Got him. Just the slightest little love tap, folks. So, oh, and he's off. There's another one down there, though. This thing sinks like a rock. And slingshot engage. Ooh, we just touched it. See if he'll chase it. Come on. Come on, that was cool. All right, I have a whole school of smelt underneath me here, which is always a good sign. That's all that little, those little specks and fuzz you see at the bottom of the screen here. Now when they start getting frisky, I gotta get prepared for Laker to come in. So they're attracted by me bouncing on the bottom, and I'm stirring up nutrients and stuff for the smelt to eat. And when they start getting scattered, I know a Laker's coming to town. Try to catch one more fish here with the flutter jig. Been wanting to come out with this thing forever. I was using it early spring, and then I used it through the summer, and I wasn't happy with the treble hooks that I was testing out. I was breaking them, and so you gotta spend good money on good treble, so you shouldn't have to change these out. Look at all those smelt. And here comes the Laker from the right. I'm pretty sure. Got him. That's exactly how it's supposed to go. That time I let him get a little bit closer. So cool to see him under the ice, wrapped around the transducer. It's a bigger one for today. Beauty, going right back in. That one was the 1/2 ounce model. We sell 3/4 ounce and 1 ounce. All of it's non-lead, so you can use it pretty much anywhere, or you can use it everywhere with upgraded treble hooks. If you do want to switch out to Siwash hooks, I might carry those. I haven't figured that out yet, or a single point hook. But I pinch the barb on those, and they still bleed. Lakers just bleed. That's just how it works. If you guys want to support the channel, visit benefish.com. If you guys want to see more lake trout fishing content, either click here or click here, and that whole ice fishing series should be either on this side or on this side, and I'll see you in one of those next videos.